I spent $3,500 to fly home for my sister Lily's birthday. But as soon as I walked through the door, my mom looked at me with a smirk and said, "Birthday's canceled. Expect a call from the police." I just said, "Okay," turned around and left. That night, I raised the rent on their place by 50%. By morning, I had 79 missed calls, but that wasn't the biggest surprise. That came later, in my inbox. The flight had landed with a heavy bump, and regret hit me like a punch. $3,500 just to go back home, even though I'd promised myself I'd never return. But when Mom called, her voice shaking, saying it would mean so much to Lily and to everyone, I gave in. Because that's who I was, the one who always showed up, the one who fixed everything. I stepped out of the taxi and stared at that same white house paint peeling, porch light broken like always. I forced a smile, holding the gift I'd spent hours picking out, hoping maybe this time would be different. Maybe they'd see I still cared. I knocked. No answer. Then the door opened. Mom stood there. Her eyes barely glanced at the gift bag before she gave me a cold, almost smug smile. "Birthday's off," she said. Her words hit hard. "Expect a call from the police." I couldn't say anything for a second. "What?" She crossed her arms. "You heard me. You should have known better." "Known better about what?" Behind her, I saw Dad pacing the living room, waving his arms like he was trying to grab something out of thin air. Lily was on the couch, crying but with a smirk. Her boyfriend, Zach, wasn't there. Mom sighed like she was talking to a child. "Lily told us everything, about the money, about how you tried to ruin her life." "What? That's not true." "She has proof, messages, recordings. We trusted you and you tried to hurt her. We're done. Get ready for the police to call." My mouth went dry. What messages? What proof? What had Lily done now? I should have gotten mad. I should have defended myself. But instead, I just smiled. I was done trying to explain. Done begging them to see me. I left the gift on the porch, turned around, and got back in the taxi. "Where to?" the driver asked. "Back to the airport." My phone buzzed the whole way, but I didn't check it not until I was on the plane. I looked at the screen and gave a bitter smile. My banking app had sent a notification. Rent increased by 50%. Tenants will be notified. By the time we took off, I had 79 missed calls. But I didn't care. I wasn't just walking away this time, I was cutting ties for good. When I landed back in Denver, the phone buzzed nonstop. 50 calls, 60, then 79. I let the battery die. I didn't care. At home, I plugged in the phone, grabbed a beer, and sat on the couch. I knew what was coming: voicemails, texts, desperate and angry messages from my parents, maybe from Lily too. But it didn't matter. The first voicemail played on speaker. "How could you do this?" Mom's voice shook with anger. "We trusted you. You were supposed to be family. I don't even know who you are anymore." Delete. Next was Dad's voice, cold and sharp. "Listen here, smartass. You think raising the rent makes you tough? Ignoring us? Let's see how tough you are when the cops show up." Delete. But the third message was different. "I didn't mean for it to go this far," Lily's voice cracked. "They're freaking out. They told me to lie, okay? Said you'd never just give me the money. They needed it for the mortgage. I didn't. I swear I didn't." Not delete. Save. That message changed everything. It was the first honest thing I'd heard. But the biggest surprise was still waiting in my inbox. I logged in expecting spam and bills. But then I saw it's an email from Lily. No subject. No greeting. Just a long string of screenshots. Messages between her and Mom, her and Dad, even one from Zach. "If he doesn't help, tell him you have proof. Say you'll go to the police. Make it sound bad. Make it sound like you have a video. He's weak. He always gives in." A slow smile spread across my face. Weak. That's what they thought I was. A doormat. A wallet with a heartbeat. I replied with one line. "Rent is due. 50% increase. No exceptions." An hour later, Dad tried calling. I let it ring. Then another call. And another. Finally, a text. "You think you can do this to us? We made you. You're nothing without us, ass." I laughed out loud. Because suddenly, all those years, all the sacrifices, the lies I swallowed to keep the peace, they didn't mean anything. They didn't make me... They just shaped something they could never understand. I opened my laptop and wrote a message, not to them. They didn't deserve that. It was to my landlord. "Please update tenant records." Effective immediately, the rent for my parents' property is increased by 50%. Any issues, contact me directly. An hour later, I got a reply. Confirmed. The notice would be sent first thing in the morning. But I wasn't done. I picked up my phone and scrolled through the saved voicemails. Then the email screenshots. Each one was a piece of the truth. Each one a nail in the coffin of their lies. I uploaded them. No more hiding. Then I made one post. This is what family looks like when you're only useful during a crisis. Screenshots. Voicemails. Even a short video I'd taken last year, Dad, drunk at a family dinner, slurring insults, while Mom smiled like it was a comedy show. Lily laughing next to them. It didn't take long. Comments started rolling in. Friends I hadn't spoken to in years. Strangers tagging each other. Some were kind. Some were shocked. But the best ones came from family. Aunt Marie. What is this? Is this true? Cousin Jake. I always knew they treated you like nothing. But this is evil. Uncle Mike. I knew they were using you, but I never thought they'd stoop this low. The family chat exploded. Ping after ping after ping, and I just watched as the people they pretended to be came crashing down under the weight of their own lies. Then came a call from a number I didn't know. Hello? Hey, it's Zach. I almost laughed. Why are you calling me? Because you need to know. I didn't know they were lying. Lily told me you were threatening her, that you tried to blackmail her. I didn't believe her, but your parents backed her up. I stayed quiet. But yesterday I asked her about the messages, and she got weird, defensive. Then I saw her texting your mom. I think they're planning something. They want to make it look like you're the problem. Thanks for the warning, Zach, but I'm not worried. You should be. They're saying you're unstable. That you've always been jealous of Lily. Your dad's talking about getting a restraining order. I chuckled. Let him. They can say what they want. I've got something they don't, the truth. And now the whole family's watching, and they haven't even seen the worst yet. At 3 p.m., just as I was finishing lunch, a text came in. Family meeting. Sunday, 6 p.m., be there. Mom, no apology. No explanation, just an order. I didn't block her. I didn't ignore it. I smiled. Because this wasn't their setup. This time it was my trap. I made 3 calls. First, Zach. He hesitated, but agreed to come. He had his own reasons now. Guilt. Anger. Second, Lily's ex, Mark. The one she destroyed last year with fake texts and twisted stories. I'd sent him the screenshots. The proof. He was furious. He wanted payback. Third, my landlord. One more favor. Just for tonight, I'll cover the cost. Whatever it is. He understood. By the time I got to the house, the sun was starting to set. A cold wind scraped through the bare trees. The house looked smaller than I remembered. Or maybe I was finally seeing it for what it was, a crumbling shrine built on lies. I walked in without knocking. They were all there. Mom, arms crossed, fake concern tightening her face. Dad pacing, trying to look tough. Lily curled on the couch, phone in her lap, giving me that smug little smile. But someone else was there too. A man in a dark suit, square jaw, a badge clipped to his belt. A cop. Mom's voice was sticky sweet, almost painful to hear. Oh, honey, I'm so glad you came. We were just talking to Officer Reynolds here about everything. Lily leaned back, smirking. Yeah, everything. The cop looked at me. We've gotten some reports about harassment, threats, and financial manipulation. We just want to hear both sides. My pulse stayed calm. Sure, I said. I'd love to share my side. Dad stepped forward, playing the poor, heartbroken father. This is your chance, son. Just apologize. Stop this madness. We're family. Family, I repeated, letting the word hang. Then I pulled a folder from my bag thick with printed screenshots, texts, emails, all of it. I looked at the officer. I was going to keep this private. But since this is a family meeting, I handed him the folder. Let's do this right. The officer started flipping through the papers. His face changed calm at first, then colder. What is this? He asked. The truth, I said. About the money they've stolen, the lies, the threats. The manipulation, and that's just the start. Lily's smirk vanished. This is a joke, you faked those. Oh, really? I said. I pulled out my phone, unlocked it, and tapped a voice recording. Lily's voice filled the room, frantic, panicked. I didn't mean for it to go this far. They're going crazy. They told me to make it up. I didn't I swear I didn't. Her face turned pale. Mom's mouth fell open. Dad's fists clenched. The officer stared at Lily. Miss, he asked, is this your voice? That's not the only recording I have, I said, looking straight at Dad. Because after years of being treated like an ATM, I started saving everything. Like the time you told me I was nothing. Or when you messaged Lily telling her to threaten me. Dad stepped forward, furious. You selfish child, the officer stepped in between. Sir, sit down. Lily's voice shook. This isn't fair. No, Lily, I said. You know what's not fair? Being blamed for things I didn't do? Being told I ruined your life while you were the one lying, stealing, faking proof. Then I turned toward the door. Mark. The door opened, and Mark walked in tall, calm, with a stack of papers in his hand and fury in his eyes. Lily, he said, cold as ice. Remember me? The guy you told everyone was abusive? The one you tried to ruin with fake texts? Lily's lips trembled. You have no right. Oh, I do, Mark said, because you didn't just lie, you saved it. You kept the screenshots like trophies. Mom stumbled back, eyes wide. I didn't know, I laughed. Didn't know? Of course you did. You helped her. Just like you helped Dad gaslight me into thinking I was crazy. Just like you told the family I stole from you. The officer was writing everything down now. His face was grim. This is a lot, he said. We're going to need to take this down to the station. Oh, I'm not done, I said. I turned toward the hallway. Zach. Zach stepped out of the shadows, looking nervous but determined. Dad's face twisted. Yeah, me, Zach said. The guy you tried to use. The one you said would never believe his girlfriend was a liar. He turned to the cop. I've got messages too, proof. They planned this. They lied. They tried to frame him. Lily screamed, a raw, ugly sound. You're all ganging up on me. This isn't fair. No, Lily, I said. What's not fair is what you've done to everyone. The lies, the manipulation, the lives you've tried to destroy. Dad made one last attempt. Officer, they're all lying. He's twisting everything. The officer looked at me, then at them. We'll sort this out at the station. Everyone will get to talk. Dad's voice cracked. You can't do this. We're family. I looked him dead in the eye. Not anymore. As the officer started leading them out, Mom reached for me. Please don't do this. I took a step back. I already did. We're your parents, she cried. I pulled away. You were a burden, I said. And I'm done carrying it. Lily sobbed, trying to hold on to Zach, but he shrugged her off. Mark turned, gave me a grim nod, and followed them out. The house went quiet, empty. It felt like a graveyard full of broken lies. For the first time in years, I felt something I didn't expect: freedom. 3 days, that's all it took for the truth to come out. I didn't even have to push it. The police report was public. The screenshots, the voice messages, the witness statements, everything spread like wildfire. Relatives I hadn't heard from in years started texting. Some apologized. Some pretended they'd always known something was off. A few tried to smooth things over. Family is family, no matter what. Maybe this is just a misunderstanding. Can't you all just talk it out? Talk it out? That actually made me laugh. This wasn't some little argument. It was years of lies, abuse, and manipulation finally brought into the light. But the best part? That came when I decided to tell the full story. Not just screenshots. I made a video, just me and a camera. I didn't yell or cry. I spoke calmly with a clear voice. My name is Jack, and this is what my family did to me. First came the recordings, my dad's threats, my mom gaslighting me, Lily's fake sob story. Then I showed the texts, the ones where they plotted behind my back. The emails from Lily asking for money for the mortgage, and the messages where she and my mom laughed about tricking the dumb brother. I didn't need to explain much. The proof was all there. Within 24 hours, the video hit 100,000 views. By the end of the week, 500,000. People were sharing it everywhere: Facebook, Reddit, Instagram. Strangers reached out. Some shared their own stories. Others just offered support. And then, the fallout. My mom tried to save face on Facebook. She wrote this long, rambling post about forgiveness and how I was just confused and she'd always loved me. But her church friends, the ones who usually posted Bible verses and recipes, started asking questions. But the video shows the texts, Susan. Did you really say those things? Why not just apologize? She tried deleting her post, then made her profile private. But it was too late. Screenshots were already being shared. My dad stayed quiet at first. Then he sent legal threats. I got an email from some cheap lawyer, probably cost him $100. Cease and desist. Defamation. Slander. Emotional distress. I forwarded it to my lawyer, an old college friend who owed me a favor. He laughed. Tell them to prepare for a countersuit. You've got everything documented. That was the last I heard from them legally. Lily tried to play the victim. She made a video too crying, saying I was jealous that I faked the messages. But it backfired. People flooded her comments with proof. They linked to my video, posted screenshots, pointed out her lies. Even Zach commented, "Stop lying, Lily. I was there. I know what you did." Her video got taken down within hours. And then came the twist. Marker X reached out again. He'd shown my video to his lawyer, the same one who helped him when Lily tried to ruin his life. Now he was filing a lawsuit for defamation and wanted me to testify. I said yes right away. While they were scrambling to clean up the mess, I was finally starting over. I moved out of my tiny apartment and into a downtown loft with a view. I used the money I saved from not supporting them to actually do something for me. I kept posting updates not for attention, but to show others that you can escape, rebuild, and thrive. Then came the final blow. One morning, while I was having coffee, I got a notification. An email from my old landlord. Notice of eviction. Property now listed for new lease. My parents were being kicked out. The rent increase I had requested, legally, had pushed them over the edge. Without my help, they couldn't afford to stay. An hour later, another message. From Lily. You can't do this. We have nowhere to go. I didn't reply. I didn't need to because they weren't my problem anymore. By the end of the month, they were gone. Forced to pack their things. Scrambling to find a place to stay. Family members who had once defended them were now ignoring their calls. Some even reached out to me, apologizing, asking if I was okay. I wasn't pretending to be perfect. I told them the truth. I wasn't okay, not yet, but I was getting there. After the video, my channel grew. I turned it into a series, not just about my family, but about toxic relationships, setting boundaries, and choosing yourself. People subscribed, shared their stories. I wasn't just a victim. I was a survivor, and now I had a voice. Then, one night, while I was reading comments, I saw a familiar name. Zach. I just wanted to say you were right. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. But I'm glad you're free now, I replied. Me too. The next morning, I woke up to another message from an unfamiliar email, but the name was familiar. Lily, please just talk to me. I have nothing left. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. They tried to destroy me, but I reclaimed my life. From the ashes, I built something better. 6 months have passed since I left them behind. My apartment on the 20th floor is spacious, bright, with a view of the city I now call my own. Work no longer suffocates me because I work for myself. My channel has turned into something bigger than I ever imagined. People share their stories of escaping toxic families, their struggles and victories. I'm not just telling my story, I'm listening to theirs. They write, they share, they thank me. Mornings start with coffee and silence. I watch the city wake up, knowing I don't have anywhere to rush to. No one is waiting for a call. No one expects me to fix their problems. Lily disappeared from my life, just like my parents. At first, they tried to slander me, but their efforts were swallowed up by the mountain of proof I had. The family group chat exploded with arguments, then fell silent. Those who once called me selfish are now quiet, and that's fine. I took a few therapy sessions. At first, I thought I was wasting my time, but each session opened new doors. I realized I had spent years trying to buy love they never had. My sacrifices were never needed because they only saw me as a resource. Now I invest in myself. I've enrolled in photography courses and started a small video editing agency where I work on my own terms. In the evenings, I spend time with people who value me, not use me. I no longer fear their calls because there are none. I no longer wonder if I did something wrong because I saved myself. Sometimes I wonder, was I cruel? Maybe, but if saving myself is cruel, then I accept it without regret.